comes to your mind when you think of mental health? There is probably a range of emotions, images, and memories that is that triggers for you, not all of which may be positive. But there are many myths and misunderstandings, stereotypes, and attitudes that surround mental illness. These myths need to be busted because myths and misconceptions and misunderstandings often result in judgment, discrimination, and isolation of people with mental illness as well as their families and carers. So it is very painful for them. The first myth, the number one myth that we would like to discuss here is mental health issues can't affect me. There is denial in that. But the fact is that mental health issues can affect anyone. In 2020, about 1 in 5 American adults experienced a mental health problem, a mental health condition, though we do not have the data here in India. And 1 in 6 young people have experienced a major depressive episode. Isn't that scary? 1 in 20 Americans have lived with a serious mental health illness, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or major depression. And additionally, suicide is a leading cause of death in United States, and which is considered as the most developed country in the world. In fact, it was the second leading cause of death for people in the age of 10 to 24. Another myth involved here is mental health problems are uncommon. No. Even before COVID-19 pandemic, the statement above was false. But after COVID-19, we know that these issues are very common. Today, this statement is further from the truth, and that has perhaps ever been seen. In 2001, the World Health Organization, WHO, estimated that 1 in 4 people in this world will be affected by mental health or neurological disorder at some point of time in their lives. As the WHO explains, mental health disorders are among the leading cause of ill health and disability worldwide. So this is a very serious issue. Another myth which we can talk about today is children don't experience mental health issues. Many people think that the child is so small. How can the child suffer with mental health issues? But even very young children may show early warning signs of mental health concern, and we might not notice them, we might not know them, we might not realize that our small children are undergoing through mental health issues. These mental health conditions are often clinically diagnosable and can be a product of the interaction of biological, psychological, and social factors. Half of all mental health disorders show first signs before a person turns 14 years old. And 3/4 of mental health disorders begin before the age of 24. So the younger age group, the younger people, they do also have mental health issues. Unfortunately, 1/2 of children and adolescents with diagnosable mental health conditions receive the treatment they need. Others get ignored or untreated. Early mental health support can help a child before problems interfere with other developmental needs. Other myth is people with mental health conditions are violent. No, this is a total misunderstanding, a total misconception. It is a stereotype. People with mental health conditions are not always violent. Most people with mental health conditions are no more violent than anyone else. Only 3 to 5% of violent acts can be attributed to individuals living with a serious mental illness. In fact, people with severe mental health illnesses are over 10 times more likely to be the victims of violent crime than general population. So this is the other way around. They are the victim of violence. You probably know someone with mental health condition and don't even realize it because many people with mental health conditions are highly active and productive in their works, in their communities. So sometimes we even don't know that the individual is having a mental health issue. So every individual with mental health problems is not violent. People with mental health needs, even those who are managing their mental health condition, cannot tolerate stress of holding down a job. Again, this is a myth. The fact is that people with mental health condition can be just as productive as other employees, especially when they are able to manage their mental health condition well. Employers often do not know if someone has mental health condition, but if the condition is known to the employer, there can be discrimination. They often report good attendance and punctuality as well as motivation, good work, and job tenure on par with or greater than other employees. Another myth, mental health issues are a result of personality weakness or character flaws, and people can snap out of it if they try hard enough. But the fact is, mental health conditions have nothing to do with being lazy or weak, and many people need help to get better. Many factors contribute to mental health conditions, which may include various things like there can be biological factors, such as genes. It can be hereditary, it can be genes, physical illness, injury, or our brain chemistry. Then our life experiences also, they also are kind of factors that may affect our mental health conditions, such as trauma or a history of abuse. There can be family history of mental health conditions if someone has experienced such traumatic conditions or violence in the family or some major tragedy has happened. Another myth is there is no hope for people with mental health issues. Once a friend or family member develops a mental health condition, they will never recover. So people try to scare you with their misconceptions, with their misunderstandings. And as because of this, there is discrimination, there is exclusion of people with mental health condition. But the fact is that people with mental health condition get better, and many are on a path of recovery. Recovery refers to the process in which people can live, work, learn, and participate fully in their communities. There are more treatments, services, and community support treatments than ever before, and they work. Another myth is therapy and self help are a waste of time. Why bother when you can just take a pill? So, this is again a myth regarding mental health issue. Treatment for mental health conditions vary depending on the individual and could include medication, therapy, or both. It can be a combination of various things. Many individuals do their best when they work with a support system during the healing and recovery process. And the next myth is I can't do anything for a person with mental health issues. People just raise their hands. They just do not want to do. So they say that I can't help a person with mental health issues. But the fact is that friends and loved ones can make a big difference. According to a study in 2020, only 20% of adults received any mental health treatment in the past year, which included 10% who received counseling or therapy from a professional. Friends and families can be important influence to help someone and to get recovered and treated and for the services they need. For instance, reaching out and letting them know you are available for help, arrange for appointments with doctors, and help them in their self care and coping techniques. Then, learning and sharing facts about mental health, especially if you hear something that isn't true. So, myth busting is also a kind of help to them. Treating them with respect. Do not abuse them, do not exclude them, just as you would do anyone else. Just Do it with respect, feed them with respect, and refuse to define them by their diagnosis or using labels such as crazy. Use person first language, treat them with respect, use inclusive language for them. Another myth is it is impossible to prevent a mental health condition, a total misconception, a misunderstanding. The fact is that prevention of mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders focus on understanding known risk factors, such as exposure to trauma, that can affect the chances that children, youth, and young adults will develop mental health conditions. Promoting a person's socio emotional well being leads to higher overall productivity. Remember that. Can lead to better educational outcome in children, lower crime rates. When we talk about violence, it can lower down the you can lower down the crime rates, and strong economies. Finances are great importance. Please press the like button, bell button, and subscribe to my channel for more of such videos. See you in the next video.